What's up, everybody? Dog 985. There's levels to this. So, yesterday it came out that Sony came out and said essentially that they really are going to focus on monthly active users. And I've been seeing the Discord go on about this. And I just want to throw my 2 cents in, always from the gamer's perspective, because I don't know stuff about business, about this business. That's not me at all. But this is what I'm seeing. Okay. I am seeing some people alluding to the fact that Sony needs to put their games on more platforms. Well, there's only two other platforms really, and one of them they're already doing that. So the other one would be to put their games on Xbox. But this is what I don't think people are thinking about, okay? As a gamer, you already know what would happen if Sony was to put their games on Xbox. If Sony put their games on Xbox, as a gamer, you know that then would make the Xbox the best place to play point blank period. There's plenty of gamers that argue today that the Xbox is the best place to play for the simple fact that Sony is not even releasing that many games. So the amount of games that you're going to be missing not having a PlayStation versus being able to play on Xbox via Game Pass, it's just a no-brainer. It's just a no-brainer. There's so many people out there that are okay, quote unquote, renting their games and using Game Pass to play all these games that it's ridiculous. I saw somebody say that Doom: The Dark Ages is a mid game. I've seen some people say that Doom: The Dark Ages is an amazing game. It doesn't bother me either way because I'm going to play Doom: The Dark Ages on what? On Game Pass. So even if I think it's mid or if I think it's great, it doesn't hurt my feelings either way. Now, if I play it and I do like it and I really do like it, maybe I'll go ahead and buy it on Steam. I did it with South of Midnight. I played South of Midnight all the way through on Game Pass when I had bought it on Steam. Why? Just because I could. Why not? But if Sony was to go ahead and put their one game a year, two sparse games a year, or whatever, on the Xbox platform, yes, they would gain more users for people that are on Game Pass that may not have a PlayStation, but they would overnight destroy their whole gaming business. Sony cannot survive being in the gaming industry without the PlayStation 5. See, that's the biggest difference between PlayStation and Microsoft. Microsoft can survive without the Xbox. Oh, yes. Listen, Microsoft can survive without the Xbox. They're a big enough publisher now that they can do that. Game Pass exists on PC. Game Pass exists on everything nearly. The only thing Game Pass doesn't exist on is the PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch as of right now, right? But Microsoft can exist without the Xbox console. PlayStation will not exist. Sony cannot be a gaming company without the PlayStation. They wouldn't survive. They don't publish enough good, high-quality games that sell to the degree that they pretend like they sell for them to survive. Not even close. We know this. I speak only facts. I know this upsets you, but I speak only facts. So PlayStation putting their games on Xbox makes no sense if they care about adding more monthly active users. It doesn't make any sense because the day that they do that, the Xbox will become the best place to play. And I think most gamers are smart enough to see that at that point. If you could play PlayStation games on the machine that also has access to Game Pass, that's the best case scenario. The best case scenario for a gamer. Think about this. Imagine if there was a place or a platform where you had access to Game Pass, okay? You had access to PlayStation games, okay? And PlayStation didn't money hack games away from that platform. Oh my God, that platform would be amazing. There's nothing like that exists like that today. Right? Listen, I know we don't want to deal with updates, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But that's what would happen if Sony went ahead and put their games on the Xbox. So the reality is, yes, Sony cares about monthly active users, and they got to figure out a way to make that number rise because they want it to be even higher. The amount of money that they made, they want it to be even higher, okay? The way they're going to do that is by making a game that they make full revenue off of, full profit off of, that the money is all there, they're not sharing with anybody else. Because listen to me, as long as Sony is counting monthly active users, and what they're using to count it are games that are Xbox games, guess who's also counting those monthly active users? Guess who's also counting them? Xbox is. Sony does not want to lose this. Just letting you know, Dr. Aqua 985, there's levels to this. We out. Peace.